As I showcase to you the best deck in Master Duel, we are doing a $100 giveaway on this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell to enter the giveaway. It has been less than 1 week of the new pack releasing, and we have 51 tournament decks. Right now, Branded Despia is the current best deck in Master Duel. I'll be showing you the best way to play this deck as I dominate every other meta deck. Let's go. Now let's be real here. This is a first turn kill from our opponent. He's got the attack reduction with the Supreme, also non-targeting banish and indestructible by card effects. He's got target a monster we control to negate. He's got Omni negate with the Baron to floor. In the back row, he's got a 9 pillar and a blackout. Blackout's going to pop 2 cards we control, and the 9 pillar is going to be an Omni negate anything. Holy moly, let's try to break this field. Let's begin with a Fright Fur Patchwork. Only one can be activated, so if he were to negate, we would then activate another one. He did not fall for that, so now we have a dead Fright Fur Patchwork. We're going to summon Albaz, discard the dead card to then fusion summon with the opponent's field. He's going to negate the fallen Albaz, so we have 1 disruption down. We only have about 4 more to go. Let's now follow up with a Polymerization. He is going to Omni negate with the 9 pillar mate. He still has the effect to banish. He still has Omni negate on Baron. He still has pop 2 cards we control. Polymerization is gone. He's going to be triggering his Yang Zing to summon. That does not matter, but we're going to go to the battle phase to take out our Albaz. Why would we do that? To make our Branded in Red activatable. We're going to Branded in Red, add back the Albaz. He's going to negate, that's right, the activation, not the effect. Thus, the once per turn activatable Branded in Red will be activating again. He's got the blackout. He could still banish a monster we control plus the graveyard. We're going to Fusion Shokan into, within the battle phase, a Lubellion. Lubellion on summon, discarding the Tri-Brigade, and because we banished with the Branded in Red, that triggers the Supreme. The Chang Ying is now going to, like a fool, banish our Lubellion plus banish a card in our graveyard, but that's okay. The Lubellion can fusion summon with anything that's banished in the graveyard or on the field. Huge mistake from my opponent. Let's let it resolve. Goodbye to Lubellion. Goodbye to our Tri-Brigade. Did he just trigger my Tri-Brigade? Are you out of your damn mind? We're going to now make Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade is here. After triggering the Tri-Brigade, we're going to grab a Fallen Albaz, not too important here. Mirror Jade is now going to send the Albion, banishing the Chang Ying from the field, suiciding into the Baron to floor, activating in the graveyard to wipe out the entire field during the end phase. That's right. We somehow were able to break this field as we are now setting a branded opening in the end phase of the effect of the Albion so that we could summon a monster during their turn. We still have to play through the blackout. He's going to Ashuna special summon onto the field, link it off into Monk of Tenyi. He can now banish the Ashuna to summon a Tenyi from the deck. He's locking himself into worm-type monsters now. He's going to be triggering. No, not triggering. He's activating the Fateful Adventure. Was that a legal cheat or what? He's going to be discarding the Water Enchantress to banish it to now grab a Rite of Erismir. Wait a second. You're locked into worm-type monsters, mate. You can't. Ending his turn after attacking with the Monk of Tenyi is what I'm thinking. Setting the card. What was that? We're going to Branded Opening, summon the Alubur in defense. We didn't do it during the battle phase because we didn't want it to be destroyed. Grabbing a Branded Fusion. Hopefully he has nothing to negate this. That massive... he still has the blackout, though. We're going to Branded Fusion, sending the Tragedy to summon Lubellion. Lubellion, discard the Fallen Albaz to now Fusion Summon. We are Fusion Summoning into, also triggering the Tragedy to grab the Alubur to now make the Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade is here. Lubellion is on the field just chilling. We're going to Alubur effect. Search for the Branded in Red. It's a hard once per turn. We use the other Alubur during the end of the opponent's turn. Going in with the Alubur, activating blackout. Are you out of your damn mind? We have Branded Opening to protect from card effect destruction. I cannot believe we won this. Let's go. Are you ready for a first turn kill? That's right. We are going to make a play that is absolutely unstoppable. Starting off with the Fright Fur Patchwork, grabbing Polymerization and the Edge Imp Chain. Follow closely. We're going to Branded Opening, discard the Edge Imp Chain. That will trigger the Edge Imp and the Alubur. We're going to Chain Link block the Alubur, protecting it. Now, we are going to be searching for a dead Fright Fur Patchwork and a Branded Lost. We have red, we have Branded Fusion, we now have the Lost with it. Activate Branded Fusion, sending from the deck to the graveyard a Tragedy to trigger it. Come forth, Lubellion. This Lubellion cannot be responded to. You cannot Effect Veiler, you cannot Impermanence. We're going to discard the Dead Patchwork, and with the Branded Lost, we're going to be searching for a Hand Trap Negate. Negate anything, mate. If they're going to have a Nibiru, we will be able to negate it. Tragedy grabbing the Libitum. Otherwise, you would grab an Aluber if you didn't already have one. The Tri-Brigade Mercurier is going to be able to negate any of the monster effects in the hand. We're now going to Fusion Shokan into Mirror Jade. Non-targeting Banish. Activate the non-targeting Banish, sending Albion to banish itself. That's right. Polymerization using the Libitum and the Edgem Chain in the hand to come forth and summon Masquerade. That's going to trigger the Ad Libitum to resummon the non-targeting Banish Mirror Jade back in the field. Now they're going to lose 600 life per card activation. We are not done with the first turn kill. Branded in red, grab back the Tragedy. Fusion Shokan with the Aluber and Tragedy to now make Masquerade. Double Masquerade. How's this first turn kill? Well, let's explain this. Look at this field. We have the ability to non-target banish. We then have the ability to use Branded in red to grab back the Libitum to then fuse with the Mirror Jade to non-target banish again as the Libitum will resummon the Mirror Jade. So that's 2 non-targeting banishes. Also, the Branded in red with the Libitum will make maybe a Dragostapelia. If you're a mad lad, maybe play a 3rd Masquerade. Now I kind of want to. That's insane. Or we could maybe even make a Chimera play for non-targeting destruction. So that's 3 disruptions right there between the Mirror Jade, the Libitum, and the Branded in red. We have a 4th disruption with the Tri-Brigade in the hand. It's a monster negate. And now we have 1200 damage per card activation. Nothing could beat this. It is simply a first turn kill. This mad lad has an active Mirror Jade with a Branded in red in the back row with a Libitum in the graveyard to recycle his Mirror Jade plus a Masquerade to make us lose 600. Begin. We are going to open this up with an Allure of Darkness, minus 600 KW, banishing the Albaz. We're going to summon the Aluber, and we are now going to search, which surprisingly he's going to respond with a Banish. That is fine with me. That could make our polymerization a little less useful, but we will be grabbing Branded Lost. Now, Branded Lost is going to make it so he cannot respond to the fusion summon of our monster, and we're going to have to deal with the Max C. So, what do we do with the Max C? Do we call it the Grave the Max C, or we wait for the Branded in red? As you can see, we're going to negate the Max C, thus allowing him to use his Branded in red. Could be a bit risky, but let's see if we can outplay him. We're going to hopefully be abusing the Branded Lost, and hopefully he does not understand how it works fully, as most people do not. We're going to Branded Fusion, come forth and summon Lubellion. Now, right here, you could really screw this up. You need the Lubellion to be Chain Link 1. Why does it need to be Chain Link 1? Well, the Branded Lost will only protect the fusion summon of what you summon with the Lubellion if it's summoned on Chain Link 1. Thus, we have the Tragedy on Chain Link 2. We are burning to death right now. Chain Link 3, Branded Lost. Let's resolve all of this. We're going to be grabbing our Mercurier, and we're going to Tragedy grabbing the Libitum. That is the main goal with your Tragedy. Grab the Libitum. Fusion Shokan, ensuring it's on Chain Link 1 to summon Mirror Jade. Again, you could mess this up. You need your toggle on. With your toggle on, only then can your opponent not respond to this activation of your Mirror Jade. So with the toggle on, you're activating Mirror Jade, which is in response to your summon, which thanks to the Branded Loss, your opponent cannot chain anything, absolutely nothing, as we priority use our Mirror Jade. With the toggle auto, you would be activating it in the open game state, then he could chain. You do not want that to happen. He's activating the Aluber on a separate chain link, which is no longer in response to our summon to negate our Mirror Jade and summon onto the field. We're going to activate the Polymerization Chain Fairy Tale Snow. Again, he's not going to be able to respond to this fusion summon. We're going to use the Fairy Tale Snow and the Mirror Jade plus the Libitum in the hand to come forth and summon Guardian Chimera. He cannot chain the Branded in red. It is over. Libitum is going to be summoning the Mirror Jade onto the field. We have non-targeting poppage with the Chimera. Also, we are drawing a card. What could we be drawing into? Wipe out the back row, take out the Aluber, banishing the Mirror Jade, and it's time to go in for lethal. This is 6,300 damage, but thankfully, We have a card that could summon a defense. That's no good. We have Fairy Tale Snow more than once per turn. Banish everything we have. 1850 for game. Yes. What we have here is a Baron de Flor Omni Negate and a Grandmaster targeting monster negate. We're going to open this up by using a branded opening within the draw phase, discarding the Edge Imp Chain to trigger its effect to chain link block the Alubur from being negated by a Baron de Flor, also preventing the negation of an Ash, which he could have used on the branded open if he wanted to. Not that that would even be a good negate. He is going to be targeting my Alubur with the Grandmaster to negate. Now, normally you will have branded in red with a valid target in the graveyard to dodge the negate. We do not have that in this case. So we're going to Fright for Patchwork, grab Polymerization, grab another Edge Imp Chain, and we're going to go for a Chimera play. Chimera to pop the Baron de Flor. He's going to negate the Polymerization instead. And if he were to negate the Chimera, which generally is chain link blocked, but in this scenario, we would not have anything to chain link block with as the Edge Imp Chain already activated, the branded opening would protect the Chimera from being destroyed by card effect. Goodbye to the Polymerization, and now we could safely use Branded Fusion as long as he does not have Ash. Both the negates have been used. We're going to start off with Lubellion. We are sending the Tragedy from the deck to the graveyard. Generally, you're going to summon Lubellion if you want to trigger Tragedy. If you're not triggering Tragedy, generally it could be better to summon a Fairy Tale Snow instead. We're going to be discarding the Edge Imp Chain to activate the Lubellion. Discarding the branded opening was also a valid discard. The Tragedy is going to grab the Libitum, which if we use for a fusion, it will resummon Mirror Jade onto the field. Come forth and summon Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade activates, send Albion to banish a monster on the field. We're going to now branded in red. Add back the Tragedy. Fusion Shokan into that Chimera that was denied. And now it is back. Chimera is going to draw 2 cards and destroy the Grandmaster, being chain link blocked by the Libitum. Very important to do that so you do not get Ash Blossomed. And the Libitum is going to resummon the Mirror Jade back in the field, which can activate again to banish, but we want to save that banish for next turn. This is a soft per 2 turns, and the Chimera cannot attack directly anyway. We're going to be drawn, get poppin', and we take him out with Chimera, of course, so while I say that we cannot be attacked directly, but then we get Nibiru'd. Nibiru is going to tribute off the entire field. What the hell? Now we're going to send a Brigran to the graveyard, chaining to the Nibiru, banishing the Chimera. Now we get a Nibiru token, and what's great about this is we have not used up our normal summon. Now we are using it with the Fallen Albaz. Fallen Albaz on summon, discard the Edge Imp Chain, Fusion Shokan with the opposing Nibiru into Albion, the Branded Dragon. The Lubellion is a hard once per turn, so we're using the Albion to banish from the graveyard, banishing the Mirror Jade and Albaz to make another Mirror Jade. That is what I am talking about. 5,500 damage. We have an activatable Mirror Jade. We have Albion in the graveyard. We have the Brigran in the graveyard. Both are going to activate. We're going to grab a Monster Negate on top of a non-targeting Monster Banish. We're also going to grab the Branded in red. Now, with Branded in red, ideally you want to be targeting your Libitum. If it were to be in the graveyard, we did banish it with the Branded in red, so we did not have the Libitum playing. Instead, we have the non-targeting Banish into a Chimera non-targeting pop 1 to 2 cards on the field. And this is, again, on top of our Tri-Brigade Mercurier, which is going to be able to negate a monster effect. Get ready, Lightning Storm. Now, what could he really do here? If he Lightning Storms the monsters, we actually don't care whatsoever because we have a branded opening in the graveyard, which will completely nullify it. He's going to have to take out the back row, and then we will get chaining. Let's chain our branded in red, which we were going to want to make a Chimera. Now we have to change up our plans. We're going to preemptively use the Call by the Grave onto the Mo Yi. In case he normal summons a Mo Yi, it's now going to be negated for the whole turn. Another branded opening in the graveyard for more protection onto our monsters. Not going to discard with the branded opening. We're going to Fusion Shokan with the Alubur and the Albion into a Dragostapelia. So that Lightning Storm forced us, instead of having the non-targeting pop of the Chimera, we now have Dragostapelia, which will be a Monster Negate. So we have Monster Negate, and non-targeting Banish Mate. He scoops it up. I have to know, I wish I knew if he had a Mo Yi in the hand or what. Baron de Flor, Omni Negate, plus a back row mate. Let's hop right into it as we open up with a Branded Fusion, hoping that he negates with Baron de Flor. Why would we want our Branded Fusion to be negated by Baron de Flor? Well, Baron de Flor negates the activation, and if you read the Branded Fusion, it states that you can only activate one Branded Fusion per turn. So if you negate the activation, I now get to activate another one. Do not get this confused with the most popular card, that is Ash Blossom. This negates the effect, not the activation, thus you cannot activate another Branded Fusion if negated by Ash Blossom. All right, let's continue with the Branded Opening, discarding the Edge Imp Chain, triggering itself to search for the Fright for Patchwork, also Chainlink blocking the Alibur from being directly negated. Edge Imp Chain on Chainlink 2. I would say that's quite important. We're going to Patchwork, grab Polymerization, and I'm searching for a Branded Lost with the Alibur, by the way. The Branded Lost is going to ensure that you cannot respond to my Fusion Summon. So you'll see what that looks like right now. As we activate the Branded Fusion, which the Branded Lost versus a Baron de Flor, it would not be able to negate the activation, but we did want it to negate the activation because we had another copy. This does not protect you from Ash. We're going to send a Tragedy, and the Albaz Tragedy will be searching for a Libitum. Lubellion is here. On summon, discard a card from the hand, get Fusion Summoning into the Mirror Jade. Also triggering the Branded Lost to grab a Mercurier. This cannot be responded to. You cannot Veiler, you cannot Impermanence, that back row, whatever it is, it does not matter. You cannot chain. We are going to grab the Ad Libitum, and we can continue with the protection. So right now, we can't be responded to in any way whatsoever, even on the summon of the Mirror Jade. And you need to toggle on here. If your toggle is on, and only if your toggle is on, you can now activate Mirror Jade in response to its own summon. And again, the Branded Loss is going to make it so you cannot chain anything, not the back row, not even the Baron de Flor if it was activatable. So you do want to, with the toggle on, as I'm doing, banish the Baron, and now you can respond. But then we're going to fuse into a Chimera. Chimera is going to activate, which again, you now cannot respond to my Chimera as the Ad Libitum is summoning a monster onto the field for lethal damage. It will summon in attack position, and he is realizing that his game is either bugged, broken, or he has no idea what's going on. He is out. Sword Soul Grandmaster, monster targeting negate on top of having a blackout to pop 2 cards we control. Let's break it. We're going to start off with Albaz. Albaz on summon, discard the Libitum, which could be added back with the Branded in red. He's going to go for the negate. I'm going to chain Branded Opening, which will require us to discard a card. Ash Blossom negating the Branded Opening from summoning an Alibur onto the field. We're going to chain Branded in red, Ad Libitum, called by the grave. Holy moly. Chain Link 6, Chain Link 7. We are fusing with the field. He cannot chain to the Super Poly. Fusion summoning the Grandmaster and Albaz to make Mirror Jade. What did it cost? It costed everything. Now the Mirror Jade's going to be able to banish a monster on the field and grab a branded card during the end phase to set or add to the hand. Let's resolve all of these negates. Negate, negate, negate. Battle phase mate. Take out the Monk of Tenyi. We do not want the Vashuda to spin back our Mirror Jade, so we might as well get rid of it now. He's got a dead blackout. We don't have 2 cards on the field, but now we will. Branded in red is here, and we do not have the Libitum anymore to recycle the Mirror Jade. That is unfortunate. Ashuna, special summoning. He's going to flip up that blackout. We are going to chain Branded in red, add the Albaz. Now with the Branded Opening in the graveyard, we could choose to leave the Mirror Jade as it will not be destroyed, or we could fuse into a Disruption. The Disruption is going to be Dragostapelia. The Mirror Jade was non-activatable anyway. Dragostapelia will negate a monster on the field. Chain Link 7 Super Poly play, that is what I'm talking about. We are now going first against a Sword Soul deck. We're going to, ideally you want to use the Branded Opening in the draw phase. The main reason for that is going to be to play around a Droll and Lockbird, which is not activatable during the draw phase. Very rarely played by anyone, but what is more played is Effect Veiler. Veiler being used on your Alibur could be a lot more devastating. Now you might be thinking, Dkayed, what if they save Veiler for the Lubellion? Well, generally, when they Effect Veiler the Lubellion instead of your Alibur, you very likely have a branded in red that's chainable to the effect Veiler, thus making the Lubellion dodge the effect Veiler and going through with the fusion summon. We have discarded a droplet here to summon the Alibur. Alibur, now grab our branded fusion. Branded fusion, now I'm feeling out the delays. I'm checking for the field to light up. This is the prime target for an Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom, of course, does not target, but that is what they would use it on, and if they did not use it on that, I think it's now safe to possibly dump my Called by the Grave and just hold on to Ash and use my Polymerization. Lubellion is here. Lubellion is going to be discarding the Call by the Grave, as we said. We're going to be triggering the Tragedy with the effect of the Branded Fusion, sending it to the graveyard. Chainlink blocking the Lubellion to make sure it does not get negated by a Ghost Spell. Grabbing Libitum, Fusion summoning into Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade is here. We are going to Polymerize, chain Mirror Jade, sending the Albion so that we could search for a Branded in red to use during the opponent's turn. What's great about Polymerization and the Libitum is it gets the Libitum in the graveyard. When it's in the graveyard, you get to Libitum on your turn and Libitum again on their turn with the Branded in red. Now we're going for the Masquerade play. Instead, what you could have done, it's just a different decision because you don't know what you're playing against. You could summon a Dragostapelia instead, where the Mirror Jade would banish the Alibur instead of itself. Now the Ad Libitum is going to resummon the Mirror Jade onto the fields, and we can activate it again if we wanted to, but we do not want to since it is a soft per 2 turns. We want it usable on the opponent's turn, setting our Branded in red. Now let's talk about what this field means. If my opponent activates anything, they lose 600 life points. If there's something on the field that I want to banish that's a monster, we have the Mirror Jade to non-targeting banish. Then, ideally, after using the Mirror Jade effect, I'm going to brand it in red, grab the Ad Libitum, use Ad Libitum with the Mirror Jade to then summon a Dragostapelia or a second Mirror Jade. That's going to be 1200 damage per card activation, which, to be fun, I do ideally want to do that. So I kind of want to be wasteful with my Mirror Jade activation because when we summon that second Masquerade, the Ad Libitum resummoning Mirror Jade on the field, we have the banish again. So we have double Mirror Jade banish. So we have double Mirror Jade banish and a potential double Masquerade, and or we could Chimera, or we could have a Dragostapelia. Let's play this out. Pot of D. Ash is definitely going to negate that Pot of D, eating my Ash. That's fine. And we get hit by the Called by the Grave, which is, oh, that is just amazing because the Called by the Grave counters the Branded in red. We no longer have to worry about that happening. Now I'm looking for just first monster on the field. I'm going to banish it. I do not care. I want to get double Masquerade out as soon as possible. Minus 600. Again, he's getting low. Ashuna, come forth. We're now going to, right away, shotgun, banish, chain, Branded in red. Target, Ad Libitum. Come forth. Fusion Shokan with the Mirror Jade and Ad Libitum into a second Masquerade. You're now going to lose 1200 life per activation. There's no way you're going to be able to play through that. And we have another non-targeting monster banish. And with the Albion in the graveyard, we have guaranteed follow-up for the next turn, even if you were to somehow to wipe my entire field. That is minus 1200 on that Mo Yi activation, revealing the blackout. And you know what? I'm going to banish the token. Get that token out of here. I don't want you activating any 10 Yi cards potentially. At 5,000 life, 1200, 24, 38, a fourth card activation, that's 5,000 damage, and you got to play through this entire field of, by the way, with your double monster destruction card that would destroy both my monsters, we do have a branded opening to completely counter the Sword Soul Blackout. This is a checkmate. Albion's going to grab, or I should say the Brigrand is going to grab the Tri-Brigade monster negates, so now we have a negate for a hand trap, and we have a branded in red combo wombo, and just like that, that's a scoop. He did the math. He knows it is over. Alrighty, branded opening was not quick enough to hold the left click to toggle on to use it in the draw phase. That's okay. No one's playing Draw and Lockbird. We're going to special summon a Despian Tragedy. What the heck? Not an Alibur. Well, I already have Alibur, and I want to trigger the Tragedy to search for the Libitum. Normal summon the Alibur. Come to me. Branded Fusion. We're going to be using Polymerization with the Tragedy after we branded Fusion, sending a Fairy Tale Snow. That's right. Generally, if you're not triggering the Tragedy, get a Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard with the effect of the branded fusion to summon an Albion. Albion banishing itself plus the Albaz instead of returning them back into the deck. we're now going to summon Mirror Jade. We also didn't have to discard a card to perform that fusion summon. We're going to Mirror Jade, banish the tragedy, triggering the tragedy. I thought we were going to Palmerize, but no. We banished with Mirror Jade to trigger its effect, and now we're going to use the Mirror Jade and the Ad Libitum to make Masquerade. That will trigger the Ad Libitum to summon the Mirror Jade back in the field, and with Libitum in the graveyard, it can be used again next turn during the opponent's turn with the branded in red. And just like that, that is what we're going to do. The Albion's going to set that branded in red. We can make a second Masquerade during the opponent's turn with the Mirror Jade, and we will be able to resummon the Mirror Jade back in the field. Now I'm looking to just banish the first thing I see. Minus 600 per card activation. We are going to activate branded in red, grab Ad Libitum chain, Mirror Jade, banish the Stratos. Now, should you be doing this? Probably not, but I don't care because the Mirror Jade's going to come back on the field, and now you're going to lose 1,200 life points per card activation on top of having another non-targeting banish. As a hero deck, you have no way. There's no way you could survive. You're already half your life points missing, and now you can only activate 2 cards before you no longer can activate. He surrenders before my Ad Libitum fully resolves to summon my Mirror Jade. What a salty fool! Very quickly, this is the deck list I'm using. It's very similar to my branded mirror match video. I have just added in a forbidden droplet for those mad lads that are summoning the barrier statue against you. If you're losing to Floowandere's barrier statue, consider playing more droplet. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell to enter the giveaway.